I got nothing to lose being in the position that I'm in right now. You know,
Right.
Do you want to fight soon?
Okay.
No, I don't want to fight soon. I don't want to fight soon. I have no interest in fighting in the UFC until I get paid what I believe I'm worth. And a lot of fans, like Steve-O, like just said, will continue to watch the UFC and support the UFC, and I have no problem with that. I just ordered the last pay-per-view myself. I'm going to continue to watch
I love
UFC.
it. Okay, now on the
But I
question
think it's really
of what-
powerful when you stand up for what you believe is
Sure.
right, and I think that eventually the UFC will realize that they're being stubborn. They'll realize that they do have a special athlete in myself, and I think they'll realize. I think they'll eventually meet me halfway.
Is there a certain percentage point you want to see, or is there, if you can wave a magic wand to get your needs met, what does that look like? I mean, you want more.
I don't think we need to get into that kind of
Yeah,
detail.
that's a good question though. But I won't get into specific numbers. I'm not asking for anything outrageous, and I know we're in a pandemic, and I know when you're a multimillionaire, you're asking for more. It makes you seem like this greedy person and all these type of things. I'm very aware of all this, but I'm also very aware that I have the voice and the platform to make change. Most of the guys who are doing the absolute worst are not in a position that they could say publicly, I have a second job. I'm borrowing money from my parents.
Right.
I know so many fighters that are living in the Jackson's MMA gym because they can't afford to have their own apartment. And they're UFC fighters.
And they just fought.
So this is sad. And if I have to have a bad relationship with Dana, sit out for 2 years, 3 years to bring light to what's happening.
Let's not sit out for two years.
To bring light to what's happening, then these are the things that people remember you for more than winning belts. The guy
Okay.
stood for the younger fighters.
It's a legacy thing, dude.
It is.
You've already sealed your legacy with
fighting.
Right.
Now it's
Physically.
like, who are you? What do you stand for? What are you about? In what way are you innovative? Trying to change the world for better? What are you doing? Because
Here's what, and I gotta just stop you there and say it again. Let's not go 2 years without fighting. Okay, I really, it's
Steve.
important to me. And I also want to say that as it relates to what you're worth, there's something there, big time. And I think that you're worth exponentially more now. And this is just my take. But I think you're worth so much more now because you've been in a place that's the worst place to be for a UFC fighter, where nobody even fucking necessarily cares that much because they know you're gonna clobber your opponent so bad. It's just like, okay, you know, we got a main event, but it's not even like really the interesting fight because it's such a blowout. It's so one-sided. It's like the problem that Amanda Nunes has right now.
Mike Tyson.
Valentina Shevchenko. Mike Tyson was a little bit different of a story because they just wanted to see how fast it was and how explosive it was. But Amanda Nunes, Valentina Shevchenko, John Jones, those are the names I can think of where it's like, man, they don't have a fight. Who do you put them up against? It's not even interesting.
Right, and now I'm finally at a place where there are big fights. Dominic Reyes, Thiago
Huge.
Santos rematch.
Huge. I mean, your last two fights has gotten people saying, like, John Jones looks human in his last two fights.
Right.
He seems somehow beatable in his last two fights. I'm not necessarily saying I believe that's the case, but there's theories out there.
What is that? Why are you looking like that?
I mean,
Because it's shitty. We all have bad days at work.
I think that's the best thing for you because now if the belief is out there, if it's in the consciousness that John Jones is beatable, then your pay-per-view numbers are way up.
Are gonna go
you
high.
are worth way more as a potentially beatable fighter than you are as the guy that you know it's going to be a blowout.
I 100% agree. I think that I'm even more beatable as a heavyweight, and that's why I went to Dana White looking for a raise. Daniel Cormier got a raise when he went heavyweight. I was looking for a raise to go heavyweight. Francis Ngannou is scary. You know,
he is.
there's a big chance that he could break my jaw, and
Sure.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that as a fighter. I've whooped enough ass that if someone eventually gets me, then we all have our day. I'm okay with that. But I think that shit comes with